Today is a good day because we got new information with regards to the newest Tekken character that's going to be added. It's actually Clive, the main character from Final Fantasy 16. He will be available on the 16th of November. He will be available on the 16th of December for early access. This will be 72 hours ahead of his full release. So that will be 3 days ahead. He's the last character to be added to the Tekken 8 Season Pass, and he has had a very mixed response from the fan. In all honesty, if you've been reading online, if you've been a part of the Tekken community, Tekken fans have been asking for Tifa from Final Fantasy for years. But they've also been asking for a few Yakuza characters. And to me, I don't play either of those games, but it's interesting to see like what new guest characters Tekken will come with, because ever since Negan, I think they kind of opened the floodgates, so it could be anybody. We have no idea who they're gonna poach. Now, for me, I don't think I've ever really heard anyone talk about Clive. I don't think anyone asked for this guy to be in Tekken, but at the same time, we don't really have a choice here. We're not the ones making the game, and also we don't have the licensing rights for different characters. So specifically for Final Fantasy and Tifa, Square Enix is the one that has the final say here. So Sony/Square Enix may not even want to license Tifa out or any of the other big name characters that they have. So keep this in mind. Sony has more control over the characters that would be available for use, specifically with Final Fantasy. Well, Sony and Square Enix has more control. So it does not really matter how much you want the character in the game. It could be that the Tekken team just somehow can't get the character from Square Enix. And to me, that's just business, right? It may be too difficult because Cloud and Tifa are big name Final Fantasy characters, and Square Enix doesn't want to just give the rights away or license them out that easily. They may come at a pretty penny. They may be really expensive, and the Tekken team may not see it price-wise feasible to pay for one character. It may not make sense for them. Additionally, when it comes to licensing, I'm not a lawyer, but I could see the point of Square Enix putting a lot of limitations with regards to what the character can do and how the character would be portrayed in Tekken. And keep in mind, we don't know what's happening behind closed doors here. This could also be the case for other high-profile characters from other big games like Yakuza. They may all come at a premium with regards to price, and they may all come with limitations as to what exactly can be done with the characters in Tekken. The Tekken dev team did a really good job of adding Noctis into Tekken 7. So I thought that would actually help to bridge the gap between the two companies, Square Enix and the Tekken dev team, to bolster some positive relations between the two companies, thus giving us more of a possibility that Tifa might come in Tekken 8 later on. It may not happen now, but later down the line, because of the positive reception or the positive implementation of Final Fantasy characters, Noctis, and now Clive, it could be the case that in the future we could get Tifa, because this is just the first season pass of characters. We maybe have 4 or 5 more, so there is hope. I don't know how much though. They may not be able to get Tifa from Square Enix simply because she's not available and she'll never be available. I actually took the time to research and see games did Tifa actually appear in outside of Final Fantasy, and it's actually not a lot. It seems like there are only 3 games that Tifa has appeared in that weren't Final Fantasy related. They were Kingdom Hearts and a game called, I think, Irgis. I don't know how you pronounce that because it seems to be in German. Now, in these 2 games, Tifa was playable. In the 3rd game, Smash Bros. Ultimate, she wasn't playable. And this is interesting to me because it seems like they're withholding Tifa simply because they don't want to, or they don't trust other developers to do the character justice. They want to have more control over how Tifa appears. Another thing to think about here is the fact that Sony may not even trust the player base here, because with some companies, when it comes to their characters, they're really careful as to how those characters are portrayed visually. I hope you see where I'm going here. It could be the case that Sony or Square Enix doesn't trust the Tekken player base with Tifa when it comes to Tekken, because you can customize the characters, right? So it could be that they don't trust the player base to customize Tifa in a respectful way. I can see why that might be an issue. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe I'm just being paranoid here. But at the same time, these companies can be very strict with how they want their characters to be portrayed in different games. On a side note, this seems like Noctis all over again, right? So Noctis was in Tekken 7, Final Fantasy character, very flashy. Clive seems to be kind of like that too. Very flashy character from Final Fantasy, uses magic along with weaponry. You get me? So it seems like a safe bet for Final Fantasy with regards to implementing Clive in the game. So if it is the case that the Tekken team doesn't do well with implementing Clive, It's not that big of a deal. But if they do well, then that's a bonus with regards to marketing for Square Enix and their popular new character for I think it's their latest Final Fantasy game. Maybe not. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. For me personally, I'm not a Final Fantasy or a Yakuza fan, but honestly, I would have liked to have seen one of those characters being added to the game just for the fact that so many people wanted them in Tekken. So to me, it would have been great to just see you guys get that character that you really wanted. But otherwise, I don't really care about guest characters that much. I didn't really play Noctis in Tekken 7, and I didn't really play Negan or Akuma. But they were cool additions to the game, and it could be that Clive will be another cool addition to the game. This character may be good or may be bad, we don't know yet. So at the very least, let's keep an open mind and give him a try. I know I will. I'll probably make a video on him. But I think the hope here is maybe there will be other future guest characters that might be a better fit for Tekken, or you guys will actually get what you want in the future. Because to me, it's still early days, right? This is just the first season pass of characters, or character pass. So maybe it's the case that Tifa might come into the game later on down the line. That's perfectly fine, right? So let's not lose hope here. But at the same time, maybe don't hold your breath. I'm not sure if Square Enix will ever give away the license for Tifa. Maybe, right? I don't know what's happening behind closed doors in these meetings. So at this point, we can only look at what we have, which is Clive. Let's see if he's a good character. Let's see if he's fun to play. And he's going to be coming out soon. So I think they did a really good job at designing the character and implementing him in Tekken. He looks really cool. He seems really flashy. He's got a lot of cool moves. I really like his Kamehameha Dragon Wing Beam thing. That looks cool. The stage looks nice. Kind of a bit too fiery, so I'm kind of concerned about my graphics card. Like, I'm not trying to blow up my PC here. I'm not trying to have problems running the game because the stage has too much fire effects. But I think they did a fantastic job at designing him and implementing him in the game. But also, I like the idea that they released the character like a few days after the release trailer. I like that. He's rather close. So that's great to me. Keep doing that. You release the game trailer this week and then next week the character is there. I'm on board for that. Keep doing that. That's really cool. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think Clive is a cool character? Do you like Clive? Did you not care about Clive? Were you like me and you don't really play Final Fantasy, so it's like, hey, you know, he's all right. Let's see what he's got.